So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our weekly business meeting on a very warm afternoon. It is reading 79 degrees in here. Apologize for that, but we'll try to move swiftly. Could I please remind everyone to state your name before speaking? Once acknowledged, I appreciate it. So I am calling this meeting to order at 2:03 p.m. Attending our commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. And I'm going to ask Rob Bloom to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so moving on to the consent calendar, do we have a motion?
Sure, I move that we approve the consent calendar as listed on our May 28th, 2019 business meeting agenda.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye. Motion carried. Moving on to the payables list.
Sure, I move that we approve the payables for the week of May 20 through 24th, 2019 in the amount of $766,420.32, along with jury panel payments in the amount of $2,411.04.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye. Do we have any changes to the agenda? I hear of none. Moving on. The first item in our action item list is a bid opening. 2019-07, construction of household hazardous waste facility for our solid waste organization.
I lost my weapon.
I can open it. Kathy, any special instructions for us?
All right. The bid is from La Riviere Inc. And I'll get you the base bid total. I think I might be on the right track now. Maybe not.
It's not in the first one or 2 pages.
No, it's supposed to be under, okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Okay. 543.
Probably keep going another page.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
There we go.
$1,170,957.
Base bid.
Base bid. Okay, and this one is from NNAC Construction. And this base bid total is $1,055,730. And this one is from TML Construction, Inc. And this base bid is for $1,247,500.
So that then concludes the bid opening for a solid waste household hazardous waste facility. Is there a motion to accept the bids?
I move that we accept the bids for legal and solid waste approval,
Bring back a recommendation.
to bring back a recommendation. Thank
Thank
you.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Second item, bid opening 2019-10 for the Central Corridor Project. Once again, solid waste.
Four. All right, and this first one is from Earthworks Northwest. And this base bid for a total of $1,596,480. Okay. This one is from Selland Construction Inc.
Who was that?
Selland, Selland, Construction Inc. out of Wenatchee, Washington.
All right, and this base bid is $2,096,575. All right, from Stewart Contracting Inc. And this base bid is $1,906,650.
Okay, there's nothing indicated here. Oh, I'm sorry, there you go.
Okay, submitted by Northwest Grading Incorporated. All right, and this base bid is $2,189,357.80. That concludes our bid opening.
Okay, so that does conclude our bid opening for the Central Corridor Project for solid waste. Is there a motion to approve the bids?
Yes, I move that we approve the acceptance of the bids for solid waste and legal to bring back a recommendation.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 3 on our agenda, mutual rescission of lease for borer for the Southfield fuel at our airport. Is Stephen here?
Yeah.
You bet, thank you.
Yeah.
Exodus. Wow, I know.
You're up. Item number 3, the mutual rescission of the lease for borer.
Commissioner Stephen Kierder for the record. This is a mutual rescission of the lease for the Bluebird for Southfield Fuel, and we'll have a later new lease, crown lease with CDA Jet here in a little bit.
Okay. Questions? Motion?
I move that we accept the mutual rescission of lease for Boer at Southfield Fuel Airport.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 4, development and ground lease, AAL-2019-310 for the CDA Jet Center at our airport. Stephen?
Stephen Kierder for the record. This is the lease for that previous item. This is for about 27 years remaining on the lease, as we've now in compliance with FAA rules. What it is for the next 2 years, it is $8,381.51 per year. And it is about 33,526 thousand square feet.
Okay. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the development and ground lease AAL 2019-310 with CDA Jet Center.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 5, I probably should have put this one before the ground lease, but I guess we're okay nevertheless. Development agreement with CDA Jet Center Inc. and our airport.
Commissioners, this is as we talked this morning, this is to close out the Part 13 agreement, Part 13 that we have against us, as in compliance with Southfield and now CDA Jet. We need to sign this agreement in conjunction with all the leases as well. These are actually attachments that will go into each of the leases as well, and we need to sign this one.
And this is almost a prerequisite to the other two, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. Motion?
I move that we approve the development agreement with CDA Jet Center Inc.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 6, development and ground lease, AAL-2019-300 with CDA Jet Center and our airport. Stephen again.
Commissioner Steve Carroll again for the record. This is for the north side area. It's about 9.171 acres, and is for the north side area. I expect we'll have to come back and do some modifications later just to finalize some area. But it is for $99,872.19 per year. There is a 50% reduction until they have their CO, because it is over $1 million in construction costs to the county. We do that on pretty much any large-scale development on the airport.
How long do they have to complete it?
They have 2 years because of the previous agreement that we just signed.
Okay. And I understand there are 3 more leases which should be available for approval for next week's business meeting. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Motion?
I move that we approve the development and ground lease AAL-2019-300 with CDA Jet Center.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. I should also point out that joining us today is Rob Bloom, who is the principal for CDA Jet Center. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 7, Addendum A variance to the lease for Skymasters LLC, Airport.
Commissioner Stephen Carroll here for the record. This is one of the cleanup items for part of the minimum standards. This is a hangar off of what is known as the Taxiway AA development. It is in the southeast corner of the airport, and it is an area that has had a helicopter operation, which is why we are doing this lease addendum. It was built as a helicopter area, and they've operated a helicopter successfully since the hangar was built about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. Questions, concerns? Motion?
I move that we approve Addendum A as a variance to the lease for Skymasters LLC.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 8, MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, for the Hayden Lake Watershed Improvement District for regulatory buoys, sponsored by our Parks and Waterways. Nick Snyder.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Nick Snyder for the record. Indeed, this is a MOU with the Hayden Lake Watershed Improvement District and the county, which is designed to deploy regulatory buoys on Hayden Lake to help direct high-speed boating activities out there. Sergeant Klinkifus has already gone out and marked some spaces, and once the district and the county have a few minutes to discuss it, we'll get them deployed. I do anticipate they'll be deployed later this year. I haven't heard the number, but we're anticipating about 7.
Okay.
And all the cost, Commissioners, will be paid by the Hayden Lake District.
Okay. And I notice it's already been executed by Mr. Steve Meyer.
It has, Commissioner.
Wonderful, okay. Motion?
Sure. I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding with Hayden Lake Watershed Improvement District regarding regulatory buoys.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 9. Approval of a contract with Gino Construction for the marine storage building for our Kootenai County Sheriff's Organization. That be Sean?
That would be me, Sean Riley, for the record. Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is a contract for $98,800 to construct a pole barn with a lean-to and some K9 area over there for marine. This is restricted funds that they got from IDPR, so it's not costing the county anything. And work is scheduled to start June the 1st and should be done by September the 1st.
Okay, 3 months. Questions, concerns? Motion?
I move that we approve the contract with Juneau Construction for the marine storage building for KCSO.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 10, MOU, Memorandum of Understanding for 700 megahertz frequency allocation for the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office, sponsored by our KCSO 911 organization. Colin.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Colin Roy, Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, for the record. This is a memorandum of understanding for us to take and use 2 of the pre-allocated 700 megahertz public safety band frequencies that are allocated to Shoshone County. This is as part of our outdoor radio GPS location services contract project that we are currently doing with Motorola. Our system, Kootenai County, we've used up all of our determined FCC allocation. Shoshone County has no plans in the near future to go 700, so we have discussed with them and they are graciously allowing us to use 2 of their frequencies. There is a condition in there that we can cancel the MOU with notice. I believe it's 6 months to give us time to figure out something else, but they have no plans in the near future to go 700, so there's no worry there. So this allows us to operate this project. We need 2 frequency pairs to be in compliance with FCC regulation to operate the project. So
How long is this MOU for?
good until canceled.
And then how many pairs do we have now that Kootenai uses?
In total, over 35,
Okay.
I think, is what we are allocated.
And then how many is Shoshone allocated?
I believe they are, I don't know exactly, but it's close to 24 in total. I can get you for sure, but
That's
yeah,
close enough.
yeah,
That's
they're-
close.
So this is spare capacity for them, Colin?
Each state has a radio planning committee, and the FCC puts it up to them to
Allocate.
divvy up and allocate for interference issues and everything else. So there's a predetermined plan for the entire state of Idaho. It's whether or not the counties and a public safety agency in the county wants to use them. We in the 5 northern counties have chosen to go to the 700 megahertz in the system. None of the other ones have, so and don't really have any plans as far as discussions with them. So they're unused. They're not used by anybody. They're kind of allocated to Idaho. Montana and Washington don't even get to use them without checking with us first. So
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Motion?
I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding for the 700 megahertz frequency allocation with Shoshone County Sheriff's
I
Office.
second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 11, modification of agreement with the US State Forest Service, Kootenai County Sheriff. Ryan.
Ryan Higgins for the record. This is a modification of the current co-op agreement we have with the US Forest Service. Basically, they're giving us $1,500 more than what they initially said in our current agreement. We'll use that for reimbursement for salaries and some equipment and stuff.
Well, that's good news. Motion?
I move that we approve the modification of agreement with USDA Forest Service and KCSO.
I second the motion. Why are they doing this?
They found some extra money.
I like
Imagine
that.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 12, independent contractor agreement with Galante Water Management Consulting LLC for our Aquifer Protection District.
Commissioners, Nancy Jones, Communications Manager for the record. This is an agreement that is really a few years in the making. Mike Galante, who is the owner of Water Management Consulting, is a former member of our APD for many years. And over the last few years, this group has recognized that there are critical recharge areas that need to be protected in Kootenai County. Mike had started before his retirement, when he had to leave the board, he had started to do some outreach with homeowners to see what could be done in the way of conservation easements and the like. And unfortunately, what's happened over the years, we're finding at least 2 of those homeowners already have passed away, and now estates are getting involved. And the further along this goes, the more critical it gets to protect these areas. So this is a contract with Mr. Galante that he will continue to work on behalf of the APD as a consultant. He will work with our legal team to help create and complete the conservation easements on these critical areas. It goes through September 30th of this year. It's a $15,000 contract, and they do have this budgeted in fiscal 20 as well for a continuing project.
So do they have it budgeted in 2019?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And legal has reviewed this?
Pat Breen prepared the
Okay. Fair enough. Motion?
I move that we approve the independent contractor agreement with Mike Galante at Water Management Consulting LLC and the Aquifer Protection District.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 13, Resolution 2019-47, designation of public records custodian, Board of Commissioners.
Nancy Jones again for the record, Commissioners. Last July, there was a change in Idaho statute designating that each county should clearly delineate who the custodian of record is for various departments within the county. Last week's PRIMA training, ICRIMP again encouraged all counties to put forth a resolution that clearly lets citizens know who they should be contacting for public records requests. This breaks it down. We reached out to all of the electeds, to their administrative staffs. Instead of being broken down by person, the attachment, as you can see, is broken down by position. So there's no need to change that as staffing changes. It was sent out last week to all of the electeds for a final review, and we only had one question on it, and I believe we are ready for adoption.
Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve resolution 2019-47 which is the designation of public records custodian for the Board of Commissioners and countywide.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 14, proclamation, recognition in honor of American Legion member Colt Gale, and this would be Bill.
Well, here's a fellow who's been in the military. I just got done with Memorial Day, but he's been in. He had one of his biggest complaints was having to give up his horse. So he's been in for a while. And in 75 years, I believe, with the was it American Legion? Yeah, American Legion. And if you read this this proclamation, which is not short, but it's because of what he did. He joined the American Legion in '45, but he's been all over the state. He's been a member of the military, serving for many years, and he got out on the GI Bill, became an attorney, and but he's continued working very hard for this country, for this state, through his various memberships. And I think it'd be very nice to recognize that. They're having an event for him, what, on the 4th, I believe, of June. Is that right? and he would be presented this proclamation at that time.
Did you wanna read it, or no?
I can. It's long, but that's okay. He deserves it. Proclamation in recognition in honor of American Legion member Cope Gale. Whereas Cope Gale, 98 years old, is a longstanding resident of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and whereas Cope Gale was part of the U.S. Army National Guard Cavalry in 1940, making the transition from being a horse soldier in the Cavalry and Idaho National Guard to serving in the Field Artillery Unit, and whereas Cope Gale was in the Cavalry ROTC Air Force and joined the Navy during World War II and served as an assistant gunnery officer aboard the USS Massachusetts battleship in the South Pacific, and whereas Cope Gale joined the American Legion in 1945, joining with the Moscow, Idaho post, then transferring his membership to the Coeur d'Alene post in the 1970s, and whereas Cope Gale has held offices in both Moscow and Coeur d'Alene posts, serving as state commander of the state of Idaho from 1974 to 1975, and whereas Cope Gale utilized his GI Bill rights to become an attorney, serving as a former prosecutor for Benoit and Lehigh counties and city attorney for Coeur d'Alene, city of St. Mary and Idaho. Whereas Cope Gale has been an American Legion member for 75 years and will be presented with an award from the American Legion Kootenai Post 14 on July 4th, 2019. Now therefore be it resolved that Cope Gale be commended and receive a recognition for his many years of dedicated service to the United States of America and the citizens of Idaho.
Motion?
Do you want to motion this one, Bill?
Sure. You get it in front of me. I've got to get the right proclamation. I move that we proclaim, or what's
Or approve the proclamation.
approve the proclamation recognizing Cope Gale in honor of his service and as a member of the American Legion.
I'll second.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 15. Work made for hire agreement, human resources. Kim?
Hi, Kim Buffin, HR for the record. This is to gain approval to enter into a contract with Lang Productions. Matthew Lang is the owner of Lang Productions, and he produced our 2 videos that we currently have on our website. We would like to utilize existing funds in the Sheriff's Office recruitment budget in order to update just the Sheriff's video, and hopefully have it completely back and on our website by the beginning of the new fiscal year.
Okay, great. And the money is budgeted as you indicated?
It is, and we can continue on with our aggressive recruitment for patrol deputies as well at the same time.
Super. Okay. Motion?
I move that we approve the work made for hire agreement for the KCSO recruitment videos.
Second on motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Number 16 and final. Third amendment to the fuel services contract with Coleman Oil, KCSO.
Kevin Smart for the record. Again, this is just a agreement to continue on with our fuel contract services as they have been. There's no need to change those at this time that we feel. And the only caveat that we would want to add is Friday the sheriff got a hold of me and he wants me to reach out to Coleman Oil to look at possibly reaching an agreement with them to use the same costs at the Maverick that is being built on the corner across the street from us for convenience. So we'll be reaching out to them on that.
Does that have any bearing on this
It
agreement?
doesn't at this time, no. This agreement would be in place. It's just something that we're looking to try to bridge the gap for future.
Okay. And this being the third agreement, is this, I guess I'm not catching, it's just expired, so we need another one time-wise? Is that?
That's to my understanding.
Okay.
Through Jubilee Homes, who's kind of trickle it down through myself.
Gotcha.
So we're looking for the same pricing, is that it?
To use the Maverick, is that what you're asking?
Yes, yes.
That would be the next steps is, yes, trying to reach out to them. Basically, it's a CFN card that is used at all of them, but our contracts through Coleman Oil, and they are not through Maverick.
Oh, I
And so
see,
it would be
okay.
Reaching out to them saying if they would honor us to use it at that Maverick, since it's right across the street, and still give us the same price.
And Coleman supplies Maverick?
They do not, that's where we have to bridge that
Oh, okay.
gap, to request
okay.
that the pricing would be honored through the agreement.
Understood.
And this is not actually a third contract, it's a third amendment.
Yes, correct.
That's fine. Okay, motion?
All right, I move that we approve the third amendment to fuel services contract with Coleman Oil and KCSO.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item G, public comment. Don't hear of any. 2:33 PM, meeting adjourned. Thank you for enduring the heat. We just hit 80.